Welcome to the Bougie Black Brother Network.
So one thing I did want to get into that you mentioned earlier is about the cars.
Man, in fact, I was so mad because my car, I think I'm burning oil now. I got an oil change. Yeah, I got an oil change and they fucked up the oil. I'm like, how do you do that? So I was riding around like an ass about the car in 2017, like March. And I just got my first oil change because I just haven't. It's electric. Yeah. I haven't had to get one. So I had a road trip, and I'm like, all right, well, before I drive around on 10% oil, like 10% oil life or whatever,
right?
I wanted it at 100% or close to it, 90 or something. So I get an oil change, and then driving, I'm like, what's that smell? So I pop the trunk, and I'm like, either they put the wrong oil in there or too much, because it's like some excess oil or something happening.
Probably too much.
So I'm like how I was just like, how hard is it to fucking, you can't even get an oil change right?
So did you bring it back?
I can't, because I gotta drive, and it turns them dropping it, they're not in convenient locations. I gotta do it Saturday.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm just like, when I'm driving, I'm like, well, I know it's not operating like it's supposed to, but it was just, my next car has to be 100% oil, so I don't have to deal with fucking these people. Because I'm like, how hard is it to just... That's why I'm so glad.
Yep.
That's why I'm glad I got the fucking electric shit. Because I'm like, at least it's not running all the time, and then I can go charge it somewhere, and then it's all good. You know what I'm saying? I can at least drive a couple miles electric, not have to use the actual gas engine part.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? So for your car, you got to worry about software updates versus some asshole who can't fucking measure. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Which is very convenient. Very convenient.
Bro, and you know what I'm saying? That's definitely what I'm getting next.
So the whole market and the car industry has made a decision that they have to go electric. A whole section has to be done. It has to be because of the Model 3 mass production.
So we got to talk about General Motors a little bit.
Okay.
So laying off 15,000 people, canceled the Chevy Volt, my car, and the idea is, since SUVs are selling more anyway, they're just gonna, I guess cancel the Volt and then do a crossover or something.
So they want to do a straight electric type of crossover now.
Right. Yeah. And I want to get your opinion on that, because I'm like, well, I get canceling it, but why wouldn't you cancel it but have the other car available?
No.
Because I'm like, well,
because they need that production line.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. So me doing the research with Tesla and everything, if you don't have a production line, you're going to have to create a whole new production line. So if you have the base platform that's the same, you can use that production line and change everything else. So the core, everything, keep it all the same, but now the body type, or take away the engine portion and go 100%. Because now people are saying, I'm not messing with this gas, because gas is just too high. Even though it's low right now, sooner or later it's going to go up. And then people's going to pivot.
And then, it's just, once you get a taste of it and see how, from a maintenance perspective, not having to deal with mechanics is the best.
Is the best. Exactly. Or say, sounds like the alternator. I couldn't cut it on. Nope, you don't have that. Oh, sound like the starter. Nope, don't have that either.
Yeah.
So you go through a whole litany of parts that you don't have to deal with other than a software update, to your point. And it's, there's going to be parts issue, but that's pretty much on the production side. Anything that fucks up with this car is really fucked up because on the production line, they fuck something up. So that's a blessing in itself. And then if there's something with the update that's wrong, they'll just do another update and find out where it is and go, okay, let's fix that flaw, because the windshield wiper is delaying a little too much and seems to be rubbing. So let's make that adjustment. Got that one corrected.
Boom.
Done. So with the GM issue, they're taking the dramatic change that people aren't buying sedans, more people are buying more little SUVs and things, and said, you know what? Let's shut down these and build up our product line just to start doing electric and more SUVs.
Now, I want to get your take because, I have my car, and if you're in my shoes and General Motors is shutting shit down, obviously they still got the core technology, but just the model itself, what do you think I should do, long term?
So I don't think you're going to have a problem with that because the core technology and everything that they have, people are going to be able to service it. Just like the Saturn. When Saturn went out of business, people were still able to, provide maintenance for that car.
Because it's still General Motors.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, yeah.
So you still have that opportunity. I think that's the one thing that I'm sorry to hear that you said that, because I figured by you doing the actual electric, maybe 70 to 80% of the time, you didn't even have to worry about the engine as much.
No, in this circumstance, it's a road trip.
Okay.
That's why I like the Chevy Volt, because it gives you that option you can do 500, 600 miles in a day because you can just, you can just fill the tank up like a car. So in this circumstance, yeah, it was, I had to deal with it. And again, I had the car for like, man, I'm talking about like what, 1 year and I'll just say like 6 months. So you're talking about 18 months with the same oil change. That's the best I've ever had. I haven't. That's for me. That's I'll take
phenomenal.
that any day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'll take that. I mean, it's just like the only time I need to see you for any servicing, and you can't even get that right. It was just annoying. You know what I'm saying? Like, in fact, I remember this too. I think I used a weird charging station, and it gave me a charging error. So I had to check engine light on, and I had to kind of coach the dude on what I need him to do. I'm like, hey man, just clear the computer because I blah blah blah. And he was like, okay, and it was just like,
whoa.
We're still in these early stages of these fucking cars, so
right.
People they still don't know too much about it. So that's the only thing that makes me apprehensive. So like when it works is good, but when it doesn't, it's like, shit.
So the problem with everyone's trying to switch to strictly electric is the software issue, because these car companies aren't software companies. They're car companies. So now they're putting a layer on that they're really not used to actually doing, whereby Tesla is a software company that's making cars. Yeah. So their basis was to ensure that the software will work properly, but now the flaws are in maybe the design of the car. The doors don't close properly, or some things on the inside.
You gotta deal with that bullshit. Yeah,
but that's minor. I'm like, come adjust this shit, dude. What's the hell? Where everything that makes the car run, is really intact, because they ensuring that they're monitoring everything to ensure that, hey, this person had an issue. Let's do a software patch for everybody, just in case everyone has that.
Yeah.
So but the car companies is trying to accelerate things. My fear with these people jumping into it is, who are their software engineering section that's really going to say, this is what controls the car, whereby you have all of these mechanics and engineers that says this is what an ICE actually does. You know what I mean? And these ICE cars all have these combustible parts and everything. You don't need them anymore. Now you need these
people don't know what ICE, internal combustion engine.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I got so used to saying that now.
Yeah, and then just a quick rant on them. First, when there's a charging station for electric cars, can you assholes not park there? Like, that shit gets on my fucking nerves. It's just like,
I know.
Like, come on, bro. Like, that's like an electric car parked in front of a gas pump.
Yeah, they'd be like,
Like,
dude, you're
yeah,
not getting gas. Yeah, I
it's
just
like,
run it in real quick.
yeah,
Park in a
just like you're not,
spot.
just like you're not getting electricity for like 8 hours a day.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the key thing with electric cars is when I'm not charging, it's a waste of time. When you're not, when a regular car is just sitting there, it's just sitting there because that's what they do.
Yeah.
Electric cars actually have. Here's the thing, there's a charger nearby, but it's in driving distance.
Hmm.
And my car can self drive to there, charge all day, and then drive itself back. That would be amazing.
Hmm. I think
That would be
the
dope.
I think the Volvo, and it's another car company that has a platform that the car drives on top of,
Hmm.
and the, I guess, the magnetic or whatever is charging the car. So the car doesn't have to plug in. It actually charges from the platform that it rolls on top of. I think the Volvo EV or electric vehicle is actually trying to get that type of technology, but most of them
Wow.
is installed in the home. I'm not sure if they're going to do that as like an EV station or not. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So technology is out there, and all of these people are realizing that I can make money by making these charging stations for these new electrical cars. So there's
Hmm.
a shitload of them out there right now.
There's only like one good one. I don't like ChargePoint.
Yeah, ChargePoint is cool.
Yeah.
Isn't
Otherwise,
ChargePoint got the you didn't try EVgo?
maybe, but there's more ChargePoint everywhere,
Yeah.
and their stations are very reliable. It's not weird.
Mm-hmm.
I can use them outside in the element, like charge in the rain.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these other ones, you'd be like, I don't know. Well,
They're like the ones right next to Walmart and shit.
yeah.
I mean,
The
not
one
Walmart, Walgreens.
Walgreens, bro. Yeah. I wanted to ask, like, did you download PlugShare? You download that app yet?
Mm-hmm. I got all of those.
Oh,
I
okay.
got all of them just in case.
So from your experience as an owner switching, I mean, how has the drive been, the noise or lack thereof? What's the car like?
So the car, I've never drove a car like this. Never,
Wow.
ever. I
In your
haven't.
life.
I haven't driven a car as fast as this. As fast as this car goes, from a standstill, and the smoothness and balance on a car like this.
Oh my God.
I,
Now,
I just haven't driven a car that way.
people don't understand how butter an electric car is because there's no physics you're dealing with. The
Nope.
physics is there's no press the gas and then you get power.
Oh, there's no gears to say, let's go to first, to second, to third. Oh, now you're going to get to the fourth so you can get your... No, there's no gears. It goes. Even when I drive it and I hit a corner, it makes me feel uncomfortable, but the car takes it so well because the
Because it's
center
centered.
of balance is so...
Yeah.
Because the battery's at the bottom.
In fact, I I like to speed into turns.
Yeah, exactly.
I hit them harder. Like, here we go. Like I can when we did the road trip, I was just it was like windy roads in the rain, it was dark. I could
Mhm.
handle it so well just based on, the car it was just killing it. It was
Yeah.
like I could have been it's just such a great ride, you know what I mean?
So I'm just talking about the car, the handling, the braking, the speed. Now, what takes me away, that I can drive all day now. If I had to go somewhere, I don't mind driving. I love driving because the car drives itself to a certain point. I can put the self-driving autopilot on.
So
It
how
changes
is
lanes and
that?
all of that. Oh, it was
Really?
scary at first. It's very scary at first because you think now that it's going to take these turns, it looks like it's going to go into this other lane. No, it's not. It's not going to do that. So I've tried that. Then
Man,
when I put the blinkers on, I said, there's a car coming. The car is like, nope, I'm not going to change the lane until that car moves. Then somebody try to cut in front of you. The car picks that up because it sees it cross that lane. It'll brake hard as fuck because it's saying, no, this dude's going to hit you. Don't let this car hit you. And you're
Now,
like, what the fuck? And then you see the car trying to like move over.
because on one hand, that's obviously really cool. But on the other hand, and people fuck everything up. All these fucking Tesla owners are just dying or crashing.
But you know what they doing that? They're not
they're going to
paying
sleep.
attention.
Yeah,
Yeah, this dude was drunk. Did you see that dude they was chasing? He was going
Nah.
70 miles an hour and he was
Yeah.
drunk. And they wouldn't have stopped him if he wasn't going 70 miles an hour. It was on autopilot. It was just going down the highway. The cops was like, what the hell's going on? And they roll up on him and the car is just going. Because the autopilot was, if you press home, it's going home, dude. It's going home. The only problem is it'll stop at lights. I mean, it won't stop at lights unless someone's in front of you. Because what it's doing is it's taking the distance from the car that has just rolled in front of you.
Oh,
and
shit,
make sure
really?
it's that. It doesn't stop at lights or
So
stop
legally,
signs.
so legally, you still got to get that ticket.
Yep. You're going to have to take it.
You can't put, okay.
Yeah, you got to take it.
So this is blowing all them bitches. God damn.
But the comfort level of just the fatigue factor. And that's what I was telling people. They was like, well, it doesn't go that far. And, I'm going to have to fill up. I said, dude, I went to Florida and I was tense on the way down because I was trying some things. And, when you driving that long, you kind of get tense. On the way back, it was the best drive I ever had for 400 miles because there was no tension because the car drove.
Wait, what's your range?
310.
So how did you do the drive?
So I stopped at probably 50 miles and charged. And certain charge points down in Florida has solar panels. So you get that for free.
And that's another thing people don't understand. So when you pay for electricity, it's cheaper than gas.
Yep.
But I never got gas from a gas pump for free. I've gotten electricity since I had the car so often for either when it's from your house, it's like pennies on the dollar.
Yep.
And when it's out in the public, it's for free. Well, yeah, take it. I was like, all right.
So that's why they're saying some of the Tesla owners are doing more, getting their own superchargers at their home than actually filling up outside. And I was kind of like, yeah, because the range on these cars I don't have to. And then,
That's what I was thinking about.
yeah. You really don't have to. And here's the other plus, and this is what I'm telling Pepper, because I'm going to make I actually podcast Blacks in Tesla, But the one thing that I feel so good about is I put myself on an electric budget with Georgia Power.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm on a budget. So now I don't even get the discount. I just can plug it up whenever I want. And it's not going to cost me no extra because it's on a budget. Now, next year, I'm going to assess and say, did the budget is a better thing, or do I just get it charged during the off hours?
Yeah.
So, but I can assess that. And it's still pennies to the dollars.
Mm-hmm.
So I can still say it actually costs me $4 to fill up twice this week, whereby it's non-existent if it didn't move the needle with anything extra on my budget range. So I'm kind of like, I'll just stick with the budget.
Right.
The car is just amazing. I'm a tech guy, so everything in it is based on one screen, and you can make your adjustments. And every time there's an update, it lets you know. The next update within the next 4 to 5 months is the car will park itself. So you get out of the car, it finds a parking spot.
Oh, so you can. Oh, that's good. You know what that is?
What's that?
You're running late. Oh shit,
Yep.
you're running late. Then you step out,
Yep.
and the car parks itself.
Yep.
/ dangerous.
So you got to know where you're at. And the first time you do it, you need to know where that car is going so you can look and go, nah, I'll park it myself.
Yeah, like just parks on the curb or some shit.
Yeah. No, but the car, the thing is, it parks between cars. So even if it has no lines, the sensor says, you know what? I have a distance between both ends, so I will only go in between this area right here.
Yeah, and it's just based between that logic. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I
And
got you.
I kind of gauge that. I got a parallel park. I haven't parallel park yet. I just, backed into everything I go into, and I let the car do it most of the time. And people looking at me, and I'm looking at them, and they be like, "Go ahead and park." I was like, "It is parking, goddamn it." So.
Yeah, I'm telling you, my little oil change issue it just brought me back to all the issues I had with, dealing with the car with gasoline and just how inconvenient that is. Now, again, to be fair, that's the primary thing I like about the Volt is for long distance things, out of state or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's convenient. Just being able just to, I can give it gas, drive, et cetera, et cetera.
So with a full tank of gas and electric, what do you get all together?
It's over 300.
Really? That's not what I had. What it was looking like, the Volt will get no more than about 200 and something.
No.
So I must have read the wrong. Maybe it's you got the Volt, not the Bolt.
Yeah, B as in boy, Bolt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bolt. Yeah, that's the smaller one.
Oh, that's the smaller one.
Okay. V as in Victor. That's the bigger car.
Okay.
So that one has a little bit larger range, and yeah, it's I really enjoy it, but I think full electric is my next one. So yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad you're part of the club, though.
Well, I told you I was. I just wanted to make sure it was worthy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I'm saying like you've done the full test, so cool. I actually, at this point, I wanted to. There's a little anecdote. I forget it was this morning or yesterday. So I was driving to a client in a suburban county of Metro Atlanta. It was a county that is red, and somebody had a Kemp sticker, and traffic was in Atlanta. For context, if you have a car with the leaf tag on it, alternative fuel tag,
right?
You can get an HOV lane. It's all good. You don't got to have two people. I can be a single person alone. This person, I didn't see another person. They were driving an SUV, gas guzzler. They just cut over in the HOV lane, and they had a Kemp, a Republican politician thing on their car. And I was like, I wasn't trying to make any assumptions about the person or in general, but it was just I think everything together was just so. I think that anecdote for me was just like indicative of, like, that makes sense. You got somebody who's in a rush, thinking about themselves, and jumped in HOV lane, and then once traffic lightened up, they left the HOV lane and continued along the way.
Mm-hmm.
And just because, and it was just a small anecdote. I didn't really know what to draw from it, but it was just one of those things that was just kind of hit me. And I think unless I want to continue to be around people like that, if I don't hustle and work hard, then yeah. But if I'm able to do some things and can travel, then things like that won't bother me.
Right.
But seeing that bothers me if I feel like, oh shit, I'm surrounded. I mean, in a sense, I am looking at the state, but I was like, man, there's like just assholes all around me. Like, it was just like, fuck, man.
Right.
And it was just people just driving crazy. So that was a small anecdote, but I felt like I've been seeing that replicated here and there of just people. Basically me. That just personified that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Diet update. What was that all about?
Oh yeah, diet. So yeah, on a whim, I bought some plant-based burgers, and they were delicious actually. So what I did was, the key is the bread too. So you can't use regular bread. You got to use the French. What is it, broche? I forget what it's called.
Yeah.
So you got to get that delicious French bread, and like today, I just did some. I do some spinach, and I cook it onion. I did I mixed some egg in it too. and
Okay.
then barbecue sauce on one side, mayonnaise on the other, just for like a little bit, whatever.
Yeah, a little
And
seasoning.
then
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah, and I seasoned a little patty too because it's a vegetable based patty.
Mm-hmm.
Season it, and it's delicious, and that's like my dinner, and I've been liking it, and I've been getting results because over the holidays I ate some ribs and I like to balance it out with some veggies.
Right.
So yeah, so when I get home, all I gotta do is take out a frozen, and I feel like it's I don't feel that bad about preservatives or whatever, just because it's there's no meat. It's a vegetable, so it's a different preservation process than eating like frozen meat or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I just take it out the freezer, let it cook, enjoy it, and it's a healthy meal. You know what I'm saying? I really enjoy it.
Okay.
So that's like just a little quick, and again, that's just for dudes especially. If you're a guy, you're not really trying to cook like that. That's a really, really easy thing to cook. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
really easy.
So I
So,
just do smaller portions and more vegetables. I'm cutting out potatoes. Um, not either jasmine rice or not really any type of regular rice. And I'm just cutting down with a lot of pasta and all of that. I'm going to limit that. And if it is pasta,
mhm.
it's spinach pasta as opposed to wheat. It's a good way of reducing my weight and using more beans as opposed to a lot of meat.
Yeah.
So I've done some substitutes in that. So when you said diet, I just wanted to reduce my weight and get rid of this gut, and it's doing really well. It's doing really well.
I'm not there yet, but I'm glad you mentioned that. Just in terms of reoccurring subscriptions and stuff like that. The gym is obviously a huge uh I don't use the word villain, but for a lot of people, they may have a gym membership and aren't going enough to really validate having it.
And it started at the
Uh,
beginning of the year.
you know all that. You know how that shit goes.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I don't know if it was just. I don't. I feel like I was reminded by Creed because I wanted to do it for a while, but the Creed movies back out.
Hmm.
We rewatched the first one too, and that was a good movie.
Oh yeah, very good.
And it was just I know we talked on the phone about it the other day, and I was like, I don't know if it's just being corporate America or sometimes going to the gym just isn't enough. You just want to kind of get that angst out. But
Hmm.
man, I want to just hit some shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yep.
if you just go to actual boxing gym and spar or whatever, and it's okay. And they got like $25 a class. I'm like, man. So I guess the catch is you're getting really specialized training and knowledge versus a regular gym is like you just get access to the weights.
Yeah, exactly.
Fortunately, I don't have to pay for that. That's provided free of charge at the building at my office,
Oh,
which is
really?
great.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a decent little gym. But it's just like I'm debating on, how much though I'm gonna do one class just to see it. But I'm like, man, how much do I have to how much would this cost monthly? And then if I do the unlimited classes, that's like $125 a month. But I'm like, well, what's the I got to see what boxing training is versus just regular like those kickboxing classes they have at gyms.
Hmm.
Like I'm curious to see what that is.
Yeah, those are interesting. A lot of them are more specialized into these smaller gyms to get that type of one-on-one
And
training
that's
or group
exactly what it
training.
is. It's one of them little boxing, like a little small building, some
Hmm.
dudes in there. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those type gyms. Yeah, and the last one was just, having fun can cost money. And I think we already said this, so I'm not going to completely rehash it. But it's important to have that balance or have that mindset to plan for certain things because if you just try to do something on a whim, then more than likely you're probably not going to get a good deal.
Nope.
But if you go on Groupon or do stuff on the early bird special, all those small things, all that will save money and and probably frustration when you get to a point like, man, I just want to enjoy myself. Then it's like, you try to do it for yourself, and it's like, yeah, you're not going to.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't necessarily for the podcast, but this might be a future thing too. Where we want to have some other people, but at least as being in this new gig, I can definitely say, just from a socialization perspective and whatever, it's like at least like once a month they have like little happy hours and such. Or so let's say I'm completely bored or whatever, like at least once a month, in other words, I'm guaranteed just to go out and have a good time free of charge.
Yeah.
And that's huge in terms of just the money you're spending. You're trying out, you get to go to different restaurants, bars, locations, and stuff like that. So I think if we could, I don't know if it's like doing a podcast on jobs with perks, but for me, that's a huge perk because I get to shake off some of that, monotony and be like, oh, this is something different. This is cool. I get to interact with, my coworkers in a different environment.
Yeah.
So
and that's a good bonding thing too.
Oh, absolutely. So I think I want to do, that might be a separate topic. But yeah, I think I want to dig in that a little bit more, but I think that's all I got.
All right, cool. I definitely want to do one at the top of the year too on what the future looks like, and what your intentions and things on that matter. So that'll be pretty cool at the top of the year too. Even if we have some guests. So.
I wish you could come. I think one of the issues is you work on the weekends, so I don't. You can't come to a table read. I think you would get a vision of the writing if you could actually be here and see it done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm trying to see what kind of. I like to plan those. So if I plan them, I may go to, hit a table read and then go out and do something else and then meet up with some people.
Oh,
because when I do that, I gotta plan those like that.
And you gotta utilize your weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. So if not, they're gonna want me to move to another shift, and I'm not doing all that. I like to have my 4 days off. So that's how that goes.
I got you.
But appreciate it. Millennial Money Management M3. We try to get y'all in the next couple of months, but definitely want to get this one split up and look to get to the top of the year. See what the next year has in store for us and go from there. Any last things, dude?
Nah, I rambled. I got everything out. I got everything. I left nothing on the table.
No, I got you.
I left nothing. Nothing's in the tank.
Nothing in the tank. Get in.
Yeah, my heart and
let
soul.
it go. Just got to wait on the oil change, right?
Bro, it's like, how do you fuck up an oil change?
You can.
Clearly, yeah. It's not a combustion engine. I forgot.
Well, thanks very much, and we will see you next time on Millennial Money Management. Peace.